Hello everyone, this is Pony Josiah 13 and welcome to The Sinking City, an adventure game inspired by the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu Mythos developed by Frogwares Studios, the same guys behind the Sherlock Holmes games. I thought I'd show this game to you because it's one of my favorite games and I referenced it a few times in my previous walkthrough series, Sherlock Holmes and the Awakened. So you're probably going to see a lot of similarities. I have played through this before, so I do already know most of the story and more or less what I'm doing, but I thought it'd be fun to go through it again and just show y'all what this game's all about. So let's get started with the new game. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested, I've researched the outbursts of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Mass. It turns out that your assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, haunted by visions similar to yours. The city drowning, the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of your ailment, and the person who might help you with it. Prepare yourself and come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes Vanderberg. Oakmont is full of illusions. Most of them, including the illusion of safety, can be dispelled. And so the rest of it begins. Picture day. I got a bit of a desync that should hopefully fix itself relatively shortly. Hey, Captain. I think you might have taken a wrong turn. No, that's not Well, as you can see, Mr. Charles Reed is he's not having a really good day. As is honestly probably typical for Lovecraft protagonist.
Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Oh yeah, we're going to be using that a lot. Same letter as the introduction. Holding camera. Casebook. First case is Frosty Welcome. Some coil springs and some shell cases.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Oakmont Monolith National Park is waiting. will be a bunch of rocks. Here we go. Photo of a trophy plate with a strange fish. Looks very lifelike. Ugh. Sorry, trying to get used to the controls here.
Now get out!
Now, Cherry.
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
Do we know anyone in the mythos who happens to like yellow?
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Reaching Oakmont is no easy task. Most maps I've found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature, scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, and the patron of the famous Oakmont University. A man of great ambitions and even greater ego. Do not make him wait.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular. Its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How thoughtful of you.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you. We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
That's very reassuring. Well, there's the Oakmont City port. He said Mr. Throgmorton was waiting for us there.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
Vanderberg was right. He does stand out in the crowd.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. But he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees?
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
For the history of Innsmouth, please refer to The Shadow over Innsmouth by H.P. Lovecraft. I'd also like to note that this game was released in 2021, so his comments are not really out of place.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, Let's talk about your dreams.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Farah, you have a point, newcomer.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
Apologies, but, well, I already know about the Frogwares family, so I won't spoil it yet, but I think you might be able to guess.
I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick, sure, but he'll loosen up a little bit.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
I've said everything I know.
Beach that borders a fence. Isn't it? Yep.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
Wow, he's up on Shakespeare.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Throgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should have never done that. Everything should have remained in that Professor Unreadable. I fear what will become of me. It's singing in my brain, dancing on my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Unreadable. In the end, it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father Unreadable. He's here. Professor Unreadable, huh? Interesting name.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
You see that blue bar at the bottom left that just went down and then went back up? Yep, that's our sanity meter. Well, you'll learn more about it as time goes on. In the meantime, it's time for us to take a closer look at that house. Note that symbol on the door, that means you can open it. Flashlight.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Anything for the family. Friends. Me, I'm just gonna suppose.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Nothing else of note here. Yummy.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
How helpful.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar.
It does.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay, have mercy on his soul.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. And the police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Let's take a closer look around.
Choo-choo.
This must be Will's room. Yeah, it's kind of a bastard thing to do, but really I need as much that stuff as I can get.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Yep. That's what happens when your sanity starts to go down. You start seeing things. Honestly, it's not as well implemented as it could be.
I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. 5 cards short of a full house.
Yep, those circles around the edges. So I can activate my anxiety and get a closer look at something.
Grena, Nehri, Grena, Gebhal, Nugulina.
And that sound means that we're ready to start reconstructing. But before we do that, I want to start looking around for a few more clues.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Where do they get at this stuff, though?
So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Good.
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Yeah. Now all we need to do is put these in the right order.
What's happening?
Take this, ape-face. Run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Take a moment. And easy does it.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Got all the evidence we need. Okay, now we set... Yep. Downside of Charles's pulse cognition powers is that they constantly under use. Here's our mind palace. This is where we can put together clues as to inform evidence. Look, hold on. Albert spread hysteria around him. Albert Throgmorton spread some sort of psychic influence, so made everyone nearby suffer hysteria. As an Innsmouther, Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons. That could be a reason. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous, and he posed a threat to Lewis and his fellow fishermen. Right. In any case, now we can use mind's eye and follow. That way. This way. Try to imagine how this looks to me.
So the fishermen pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
This way.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Alley-oop. this way. That way.
There's something in the pocket.
Bloodstained note. Lewis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with a fuzz snooping around the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest.
The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Charles, you're swiping the shadows here. No, no Whack. Not much of a log. What's that? Oh, what? Got it. Ugh. Some of the local fauna.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Yeah, and stringing the body up like that doesn't normally happen by accident either. Yeah. Lewis may have wanted Albert dead. Lewis, the Innsmouther that killed Robert Throckmorton, may be hiding at the bar on port. Utterly pointless staircase. I wonder if there's anything upstairs. No, just a locked door. Some more metal scrap. Maybe hiding in the barn. It's not a sign of anything horrid. Just got here. Bar under the keel.
I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure. Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Drock. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. Bye.
Yep, real Boy Scout we got here.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Hey, 9 fingers that to Mr. Drake. Love the decorations.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. The first thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
Well, I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Why are there manacles It's very distressing. And herein lies the decision-making process in the game. Often it's not so much who committed the crime, but what we're going to do with it. If we assume that Albert spread a hysteria around him, and that Lewis was affected by whatever caused it. Lewis was under mental influence. Lewis killed Albert Throgmorton while under some sort of mental influence. He couldn't control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Albert's death. I could try and cover for him, or else Robert Throgmorton will have his head. But if we assume that he knew what he was doing, psychic influence or not, Lewis was out to murder Albert Throgmorton. He had a motive too, mutual hatred between the Innsmouthers and Throgmortons. I must tell Robert Throgmorton the truth and bring the murderer to justice. It's not easy. Oftentimes, no matter what choice you make, you'll feel a bit like a bastard. And either way. And here, it's not easy to say which one is which. Here's my thinking, though. Will beat up Paul that was in a blind rage. We can argue that the hysteria that Albert spreads just brought out Lewis's already hatred, but Will did not try to cover his actions. He still seemed out of it. And been genuinely remorseful. Lewis, though, shot one shot to the head, hit the body, and then ran away and tried to hide. Hysteria or not, that to me speaks of deliberation. It's probably not making about his hat. Like Oakmont, the right things are
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
He's taking this awful long.
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So I sent men to find out.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence. Why was he alone at the port? And where are the others?
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture, a sleeping giant, drowned streets, and a voice calling from the depths.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
So it's not Professor Unreadable after all. Also, yeah, those visions should sound very familiar to anyone with more than a passing knowledge of the Cthulhu Mythos.
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore and is killed.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work here at the port. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.
Well, the monsters went. I think I can see why. And that's our very first case complete. Is that a cat or a rat? It's hard to tell. Anyway. Time for our next case, Lost at Sea. The first step, we need to find the key. Find the headquarters. Northern cover side at the crossroad of Asher and Schubert Avenue. Let's look for it on the map. As you can see, the Oakmont is divided into several different neighborhoods. Part of the game involves finding locations of interest and marking them on the map. Asher Road and Hubert Avenue. Oh, you'll probably see a lot of familiar names here in the streets. Sure. Here's Asher Road. Here it is. We'll put the next objective marker there first. We will unlock options for fast travel. But for now, we have to proceed on foot. You normally wake up like this, Reed? Welcome to our rooms in Devil's Reef Inn.
Crew of the Cyclops. Semper Fortis, brothers.
As you might have noticed, Charles is a former Navy sailor. I don't know what exactly sank the USS Cyclops. Only remember the screams and the metal creaking, water filling the deck, and my headache. Worst I've ever had. I found myself among the floating seaweed, drowning. A nearby piece of a boat helped me survive and reach the shore of a small island. They found me on it later, starving, half-mad, and babbling about the ancient ruins and their denizens. The official said none of what I thought I'd seen was real. But my memories are true. My strange powers gained after that ordeal prove it. I found something horrible on that island, something old and dark and slithering, and it still haunts me. As TV Trump's pointing out, Charles bears a lot of resemblance to the unnamed protagonist of Dagon, Navy sailors who found themselves ashore on a strange island and then had a terrifying experience there. Thankfully, Charles came out of it a little better than the guy from Dagon. Also, the USS Cyclops is a real ship. It disappeared in the 1910s in the Bermuda Triangle, actually. A lot of conspiracy theories about that, but popular theory is that the hull was too thin and it just couldn't make a... Dear Mr. Reed, I understand you are the private eye that caught the murderer in the port. My life is in danger and I cannot trust anyone in the city. Please come to my room, which is just opposite yours. I am in despair. My studies have drawn the attention of vile forces. They stalk me and will take me soon. I have cast my lot and am beyond saving, but the 7 books must be saved at any cost. Even if I am gone, find my notes there. This knowledge must not be lost, as it could be our kind's last hope for enlightenment. Please be the bearer of this light, for I have failed. Mystic Tomes. DLC case, actually. All that we see or seem is just a dream within a dream. Shakespeare, I think. Midsummer Night's Dream, if I'm not mistaken.
Never again, they say.
US Navy dog tag. Bunch of extra stuff that comes with the DLC. Revolver. A bit more powerful than the 38, but slow. Or loading time. Some antipsychotics and a first aid kit.
No matter how much of this I chug down, the visions always return.
Laudanum. Popular as sleeping. Aping pill in that time period. The number of attacks on the Innsmouth immigrants has increased. Raids are intensifying with more and more Innsmouthers exposed to abuse and assault. Sometimes whole families are found dead in their homes. Police are on the case of several illegal Innsmouther businesses captured and their owners sent to jail. The city ought to have been cleaned of these fish-faced scum long ago, said Robert Throgmorton, head of the Throgmorton Grant family. I regret only one thing. It all started too late. Had we not neglected our civic duties, my son Albert would still be here with us. So I started a race war. Great. Mr. Reed, it seems that you overexerted yourself while conducting the investigation for Mr. Throckmorton. Forgive me for the audacity, but I brought you to the Devil's Reef while you were unconscious. Please take more care of yourself in the future. I won't be there for you every time. Johannes. Facilities are top-notch around here. Let's see if we can change our clothing again. Here's our standard newcomer. Got a wind coat, that was inspired by BBC Sherlock series. Daywear. That's ugly. Some other costumes that we unlock over the story, over the period. Let's go with the wind coat. That looks comfy. Room opposite mine, you said. I know that symbol all too well. Local women were talking about a ruined house in central Coverside near the radio tower on the crossing of Landing Avenue and Kingsport Street. They said the ghosts of the house owner's family still read the unholy book they kept. Several newcomers tried to settle on these ruins and got mad. Talking with locals is never easy, but this old chap was one of the queerest yet. He was happy to talk about the book, but only laughed when I proposed to buy it. I left it in the most guarded place of the city, paid enough to keep it there until the world ends. And if it is abandoned after the flood, even better. Ignorance is the best guardian. I'm guessing he meant the abandoned bank building on Northern Advent on Forefather Street between Helock Street and Windhoff Avenue. Alas, it would be too dangerous to go there by myself. I boarded up the windows and locked the door. They're just men, the Yellow Kings gang. They can't get me here now. Now there's only me and these nightmares. A little longer and I'll figure them out. The fishermen talk of a place near the Blackwood Manor in the southern part of Whisper Street where meetings occur in the dead of night. The locals don't like this part of eastern Grimhaven Bay because they seem to fear those who gather near the half-built ship. They say a certain book is read at these meetings, a cursed tome that makes people so crave the sea's touch that they go and drown in the ocean. The one reading the book stands on a cursed boat that sinks in the fog. Those who saw it touch the shore are either gone mad or disappeared. The local legends may be more than mere superstition. A dozen witches were hanged on a huge apple tree that still grows near the cider mill. Among these documents is a confession. One of the witches said that the devil himself granted them a book with words of power. The book hides itself from mortal eyes, waiting for the witches to be reborn and return to claim it. The witch who wrote this confession lived in eastern Reed Heights, somewhere north of the intersection of Communion Road and Museum Avenue. Could the book still be hidden there? I had a dream so real it still makes my hands shake. A huge Ferris wheel rose amidst the city. People got on and rode it higher and higher before jumping off at its peak. As the pile of corpses grew bigger, the crowd pushed me to the wheel. And then I saw a man with a leather bag. He was standing in the center of the wheel reading from the book. This awful dirge was making the wheel rotate and dragging the crowd to their slaughter. Could this vision be real? I know there is a Ferris wheel at the park in Western Old Grove near Century Avenue and Beacon Street, but where could the book be? Building the church was his redemption. Day after day he worked without payment, carrying stones and putting them in the moist soil of Salvation Harbor. At night, when he returned to his house behind the church, he could not sleep. The book his ancestors brought across the ocean called. When the church was built, the priest found him hanged on the bell ropes, but the book is still waiting for someone to come and read it. His house in central Salvation Harbor on the old church road between Seven Oaks Street and Windheim Street still has a bad fame, and no one wants to live there even after the flood. Okay. Is that all of them? It took a lot of effort to track down this book. After being stolen from the Throgmorton Museum, was bought by us local search and was found dead in the house after the flood. I snuck in and checked out his place, but in vain. Still, there is somewhere else the book told me to be. A private hospital in Western Reed Heights where the surgeon worked has been abandoned. Archive say it is on Bourbon Road between Innsmouth Road and Oak Street. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. No, that's all of them. This is an extra case I'll be pursuing in my off time if I get close, but honestly I need more money. I need more weapons if I'm going to take these on. In the meantime, I might as well just mark these on the map. So I can find them later. Bourbon Road between Innsmouth and Oak Street. Yellow King Avenue. Central Salvation Harbor. Old Church Road between 7 and Oak Street and Time Street. Near the Redemption Church. Ferris wheel in the park in western Old Grove near Century Avenue and Beacon Street. Eastern Reed Heights, north of the intersection. Section of Communion Road. Eastern Grimhaven Bay, southern end of Whisper Street. Near the road to Blackwood Manor. Abandoned bank building, northern advent, Forefather Street. Near Yog and Windhoek Avenue. Ruins near the Radiotown Central Carver side, crossing of Landing Avenue and Kingsport Street. That one's relatively close to where we are headed next. Well, nothing like in other people's places.
Makes this place feel more like home. I miss Boston already.
No one will mind. Oh. We do have a knowledge point now, so we can start mapping skills. Let's go with absolute clarity to make earning experience points a little faster. Mr. Archer, I've seen you dragging things into your room. Mind the floors. I'll make you pay for any scratches you leave. Your landlord.
The door won't budge.
Finally, you're awake. Gotta tell you though, mister, you want to stay on here, you stop making all that noise.
Noise? What noise are you talking about?
I expect my guests to be respectable. Moans, chanting, all that kind of thing. It stops, all right?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't really remember what happened, but I'll do my best.
Yeah? Well, next time it happens, you end up sleeping under the bridge like the other newcomers.
You're not exactly friendly.
All these newcomers after the flood, they're stark raving mad.
What do you mean?
You can't imagine the crazy notes and books I find after they move out. Only thing they're good for is lighting the kitchen stove.
Can I have a look?
I knew it. I tell you, no one sane would be interested. And you want to take a look? Well, fine. Take what you wish.
Letters from Oakmont. More notes. The hotel owner allowed me to look through the weird notes he found in the rooms of disappeared newcomers. Among them I found several pages from the diary of a man describing his life in Oakmont. He suffered from visions in marketplaces where they happened. Is he trying to avoid them? I can mark these on the map, but I don't think you really want to see that. So I'll do that a little later. So I'll do that later. In the meantime, it's high time we got on with the story. Welcome to fast travel encounters. Telephone booths. Certainly help get us around a little faster as we discover them. Let's take a look at our map. Yeah. Best way there is take a right here, go up 3 streets, then take another way. Cyclops 2. Cute, Mr. Very cute. Oh, I should mention, you really don't want to be swimming in these waters. There's a bit of an infestation of animals. Wall. Nice looking. Yeah, locked. Alright, guess. Nice get up, buddy.
Stop it!
Yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, I really do like what they did with the characters in this game. It really made it seem like... really emphasized the fishy aspects of them, and it's just how off they can seem. guess I haven't learned that yet. There's no point running away. That blasted hollow-eyed freak always catches up with his grin, his long black coat, and those thin, crooked fingers clutching a gun. He's got a bullet with my name on it. I dodged it once. There won't be a second time. Kay, help me. Fully loaded. Alright, one at a time, boys. Where'd he go? Okay, there we go. Yeah, combat in this game is not great. Oh no. I am in the wrong building, and yeah, as I was saying, combat in this game is not great. There's no dodge buttons. I apologize if you keep bringing up the kid's birthday. Not sure why I kept pressing C. Yeah, but that sound means there's a big monster around and it's time to get out of here. Okay. Back to the business at hand. Yeah, this looks more like where I was supposed to go. Expedition headquarters. Hello?
Guess I don't need the key.
Nice of him off, though. Divers with the bends can suffer from numerous symptoms, including, pain, impaired movement, nausea, vomiting, and disorientation. Acute symptoms can occur within 10 minutes of surfacing and include paralysis, numbness, blindness, deafness, dizziness, seizures, confusion, or words coming out all weird. Paralysis and numbness can involve several different parts of the body at the same time. Upstairs first. Lovely.
These samples glitter in a weird way. I wonder where they came from.
L. Sullivan, L.B. Lewis Sullivan, B. Morgan, local fisherman, reported numerous large bubbles and an unbearable stench rising from the bottom of the sea. Brought out a sample of weird substance floating in the ocean from J. Harley. He claims he found it among numerous dead and strangely deformed fish. The fish were taken for analysis. Several locals mention a rock that rose from the seabed, making the fog shine in different colors. The witnesses felt sick and dizzy for 2 or 3 days after the incident. L.P. Stern got severe burns after chiseling off a part of a rock in his basement. Samples taken for analysis. The Oakmont University Department of Anthropology welcomes the newest addition to its ranks, Professor Harriet Dell. Her brilliant discoveries about the origin of Inuit tribes have added a new page to the history book of humanity. Now, Professor Dell will embark on a new expedition to hopefully shed light on the source of the flood, and in doing so, shed light on what may yet be to come.
Map of Cape Cod. Well, looks like there was something here, but it's been erased.
Things being erased is never a good sign. According to our data, the places with paranormal activity have a strong, previously unidentified influence in the human mind. We have prepared this list of solutions, including meditative practices and supply sedatives to prevent cases of madness among the expedition members. I highly recommend discarding all those charms, amulets, and religious symbols which are of no use, and applying these scientifically valid methods of protection instead. Page W. Professor, I'm not sure if you noticed, but science just kinda doesn't work the way you think it should.
Can't say I ever saw another shell like it.
Me neither. Okay. Now let's see what was behind curtain number 1. Partially burned cargo manuals. Following must be delivered unreadable. Grimhaven Bay, no way of fighting. Mark 5 diving suits, 6. Air tanks and pumps, 4. Canned food, 8. Crates, personal belongings, 6 crates with unreadable. Research equipment, 7 crates, do not dictate unreadable. Air pipes, 24. Phone station and wires, 1. Power generator, 1. Responsible for delit, unreadable. The fire is still fresh. Whoa, hey! Charles shot first.
Guess this helmet's beyond repair.
Yeah, it seems so. More shell casings.
Someone smashed it beyond repair.
That's the clue I was missing.
Are a few damp papers all that's left of the expedition?
Dagon. We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Grab the papers. Smash the rest.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, I really like what they did with these mothers, particularly their voices. It's just human enough to be passable, yet just wrong enough.
Burn it all. Make sure sure you get the adverts.
Time to figure this out.
Right. Yeah, most of these aren't too hard to figure out.
We don't have time to pick it. Stand back.
Grab the papers. Smash the rest.
I fatah me I.
Burn it all. Make sure you get the adverts.
Several men broke into the expedition headquarters. What they didn't smash, they burned. The archives, even the newspapers.
Several men with Innsmouth syndrome broke into the expedition headquarters and destroyed everything in sight. They burned most of the expedition archives, scientific research, interviews with local Australian cargo myth, manifests, even clippings of newspaper advertisements. The expedition archives is lost, but I still have clues to follow up on. They left the city on a freighter from Brimhaven Bay. There might be recent postings or ads about the freighter in the Oakmont Chronicle. Guess that means I'm heading to the newspaper headquarters. Oakmont University Library, Oakmont City Hall, Frogwares Manor. Oakmont Chronicle. And to get there, looks like I'm going to take a right turn and then head down Howard Street. Oh, those creatures? Yeah, we'll learn more about them later on. You're not going to like it. There's a fast travel. Yep, cover side west. It's a bit easier for me. We'll cover the whole city over time. Yep. Oakmont Chronicle.
The old papers are by the door. Take them and stop bothering me already.
I think you've got me confused with someone else.
Aren't you a newcomer?
Yeah, I guess I am a newcomer. Charles Reed, private investigator. And I also need your old newspapers, the archive, to be exact.
Ah, so you're the one who cracked the Albert Throgmorton murder case. Nice work. I'm Helen Bland. Say, can you do me a favor? Give me an exclusive interview. You won't regret it. The Oakmont Chronicle is the best newspaper for miles around.
All right, I'll be sure to make some time for you, Miss Bland.
I think you're the only newspaper for miles around.
Do you still want that interview? I got some time now, if you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. We know that you're the private eye who solved the case, but tell our reader something more about yourself.
I'm a former Navy diver. Served on the USS Cyclops, and, well, after the war, I found myself in Boston. I've been a private eye ever since.
Oh, a brave sailor. Well, I imagine you'll get accustomed to local life easily. We have plenty of water around here. Maybe we'll have the chance to work together later. Who knows? And now the big question. Why are you here? What brought you to Oakmont?
Throwing that out real easy.
I've been investigating disappearances all around Massachusetts. The missing people all seem to have ended up here for some reason.
The mystery of the newcomers. And you want to know why they're here? Well, they aren't very forthcoming about it. And it doesn't help that most of them aren't thinking straight, to put it mildly. I think that's enough for now. I can't give the readers too much all at once. Thank you for your interview, Mr. Reed.
My pleasure. Maybe I'll do something interesting enough to make the papers again. You never know. See you later.
She only asked 2 questions. Not much of a reporter. You will often look for useful information within city archives. I already know how this works. And here's the old newspaper, so... period after the flood. Section advertisements. Remnant Bay. Nope. 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 Here we go. District. Okay. Here we go. 30-ton ship Titania is currently available for hire. You will find it fully equipped for transport as well as the aiding underwater adventures and exploration for the price of 70 rifle bullets or the equivalent thereof per week. Those interested are urged to contact Captain Jeremiah Sanders for contracting details. He can be found at Pier 3, Oakmont Port, Grimhaven Bay. Guess that means that's my next stop. Map. Take a left, and straight, right, left, left, straight, left. That should get us pretty close. Household chemistry. I see a lot of kind of cute references and signs around here.
The end is nigh.
Can't disagree with you there, buddy. Blackwood Manor Canning Factory. There's another fast travel. Grab that. Good lord, it is dark on here. Grimhaven Bay Central. Should also note that fast travel points are where you can respawn if you die. Blackwood Marsh Fish Canning Factory. If you understand what the Marsh family is known for, this becomes either hilarious or horrifying.
Oh! Thank Kay. At last. Hey, help! Help!
What's going on?
Sea creatures. Swarmed over the piers. I hid here, but these walls won't stand up to them. Please help me.
What creatures? What are you talking about?
Wild beasts. They came to feast on the blood. They're eating the dead.
I'm looking for Captain Sanders. Is he here in the port? Did the creatures get him?
I saw Sanders. Help me. I'll tell you what I know.
Combat. Scavenging, quest rewards, and the only support. These sources are supplies. Thankfully, scavenging points that we've been finding do reload if you leave them alone for a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can figure it out. Oh, yeah, here we go. Hold still. Gotcha. You ran away and hid from two of these things?
They emptied every chamber. Still stinks of burnt powder. Shot dead. Point blank.
Looking at certain things isn't really good for Charles' sanity.
Yikes. The monster sure didn't leave behind much. Gotta be out of your head to do this to a man.
Surely. Oh, yeah, that's a potential issue with losing your sanity. You get illusory monsters that actually can and will hurt you. Hold on a second. Okay, just a quick shot of antipsychotics and we're fine to go. Titania. Isn't that the lifeboat that Albert was on?
They were in high spirits, and plenty of them were drinking.
Spirits.
here, but they've been erased.
Just like in the research expedition reports. Yeah.
This would be a weird artifact in any collection.
I, Captain Jeremiah Sanders, hereby agree to take on board my vessel Titania any persons designated by Robert Throgmorton and the cargo detailed in the attached manifest, as well as to provide them with any and all necessary assistance, up to and including depth measurements, as well as diving support for underwater exploration and marine life observations. Aforementioned services will take place in confidential locations in Con Bay. Afterwards, the Titania will provide transport for all passengers to the Oakmont port. Compensation will be 70 volts. So you have a flashlight.
The mare with you! Die! Die! No more drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we ain't allowed rum? You can't take me! Eat this!
Let's get a handle on what actually happened here.
Yeah, again, not too hard to figure out.
No more drink. All we've seen. And you telling me we... To the mare with you! Die! Die! You can't take me! Eat this!
For whatever reason, the crew went berserk. Only one man got away.
Mass hysteria, just like what happened in Albert. We could take the bubble, but don't have anywhere else to go. Just making sure there's no around here. Just gonna leave it out there.
I've dealt with the creatures. Now, tell me about Sanders.
Got back several hours ago. Those things, they came because of him.
What happened on the Titania?
It was horrible. A damn massacre. I heard the shots. I went out. I saw the whole thing. Sailors bleeding, dying. Blood hit the water, and then, well, then the wild beasts came to feast.
This Sanders. What kind of man is he?
Newcomer. Seemed like a decent guy. Okay, Captain. Treated his crew well.
I gotta find Sanders. Where is he?
Saw him get away. Just after the shooting. Ran for the pier. Didn't see where he went after that.
Did you see anyone else from the expedition?
No. Only Sanders. I'd bet my life no one else made it back.
Guess that means Sanders is on the main The harbor master saw Captain Sanders leaving the pier. The only survivor of the fight in the third pier of Grimhaven Bay was a man badly wounded in the shoulder. Captain Sanders, as the wounded man, is now seeking medical aid. problem is headed for a hospital. The closest one would be the Hospital of St. Mary. But we're going to leave that for another time. For now, I'm going to leave this episode here. So, I will see you all in the next one. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you're looking forward to more. Bye.